As a special treat in honor of Super Bowl 53 this Sunday in Atlanta, today I'll give you my top 10 plays in Super Bowl history, along with my prediction for the big game. Yes, we'll be there. Coming in at number 10, a Heisman winner who will forever live in Super Bowl lore. In the third quarter of the Green Bay Packers matchup with the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 31, Patriots kicker Adam Vinatieri put one through the uprights, making the score 27-21 in favor of the Packers. But kicking off after the score, the ball went into the hands of Desmond Howard at the 1-yard line. He took it all the way back, going 99 yards on the return and scoring the touchdown that put a finishing touch on the Packers' victory. Howard was MVP of that game. At number 9, with just over 3 minutes remaining in the Super Bowl matchup between the Saints and the Colts, Peyton Manning found his team trailing by a touchdown. Most people put their money on Manning coming up with a big play to tie the game, but it wasn't meant to be. Tracy Porter intercepted Manning's pass on 3rd and 5 from the Saints' 31-yard line and ran all the way back for the clinching touchdown. That was Super Bowl 44, and our BronxNet cameras had you covered. That was my first Super Bowl. I had to include it on the list, of course. In the 8th spot, with under 2 minutes remaining and the Rams having just scored on the touchdown from Isaac Bruce, the Titans had one more good drive in them. Starting from their own 12-yard line, Steve McNair moved the ball downfield and set up a 1st and 10 from the Rams' 10-yard line. The problem, they only had 5 seconds on the clock and no timeouts. McNair hit wide receiver Kevin Dyson on a slant, but Rams defender Mike Jones grabbed and tackled Dyson. Dyson reached his arm out as far as he could, ending up 1 yard short of the end zone as the clock ran out. Super Bowl 34 was a classic. At number 7, with just a few minutes left in the game, the New York Giants trailed the New England Patriots by a score of 17-15. Eli Manning started with the ball deep in his own territory, and he needed a long drive to steal the game away. On the first play, Manning put one up deep down the sidelines, which seemed out of reach for wide receiver Mario Manningham. But upon official review, Manningham caught the ball, got both feet down, and controlled the possession all the way to the ground for a 38-yard reception. That moved the Giants up the field, and they eventually scored to win the game. Super Bowl 46 is still my favorite. Our BronxNet cameras had you covered in Indy and even back home in New York, where we got to celebrate with Big Blue on the floats down the Canyon of Heroes. In the 6th spot, how about the Seattle Seahawks? The Seahawks were set up with a perfect chance to score and win the game. It was 2nd and 1 and 1 yard from the goal line. 26 seconds remained in the game, and the Seahawks were down 28-24. It needed a touchdown to win. Rather than hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, he had 102 rushing yards on 24 carries. Seattle opted to pass, and New England's Malcolm Butler famously intercepted quarterback Russell Wilson. Tom Brady was MVP of Super Bowl 49. By the way. Number 5, Adam Vinatieri had better moments in Super Bowl history with the game tied between the St. Louis Rams and New England Patriots. Brady took his team down the field in under a minute, but with just seconds remaining, the Pats were forced to try and win it with a 48-yard field goal. Enter Vinatieri and his ice-filled veins. The kicker put the ball through the uprights, clinching the Patriots' first Super Bowl victory, Super Bowl 36, 2002. At number 4, Super Bowl 23 made Joe Montana a legend. The San Francisco 49ers quarterback put together a legendary final drive against the Cincinnati Bengals, starting with over 2.5 minutes remaining and trailing Cincinnati 16-13. Montana hit wide receiver Jerry Rice several times on his way down the field. Then, from the 10-yard line with just seconds remaining, Montana threw the game-winning touchdown pass to wide receiver John Taylor with just 34 seconds left on the clock. The 49ers won the game 2016. The 3rd spot goes to the New York Giants thanks to a Bills kicker. The Buffalo Bills take the ball with their at their 10 with 2:16 remaining, trailing 2019, getting 33 yards from Thurman Thomas, who is deserving of the game's MVP with 190 total yards and a touchdown. The Bills move to just inside the Giants' 30 with 8 seconds left. The Bills, despite having enough time, opt against a short sideline play to get the ball closer and trot out kicker Scott Norwood. Norwood swings his leg through the ball, but the 47-yard kick is slightly off to the right, handing the Giants the title. That was 1991. Coming in at number 2, Joe Namath guarantees victory. Broadway Joe, days after brashly guaranteeing that victory over the 18-point favorite NFC champion Colts, triumphantly trots off the Orange Bowl field wagging his index finger. Name its consistent, if unspectacular, performance. 17 for 28 for 206 yards, combined with Matt Snell's 161 total yards and a touchdown run, stuns the establishment and legitimizes the Super Bowl and the upcoming merger of the adolescent AFL with the long-standing NFL. And of course, at number 1 on my top 10 plays in Super Bowl history, the immaculate reception that broke perfection. Trailing in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots 14-10, the Giants and Eli Manning had just over a minute to put a touchdown on the board or they'd lose the game. On 3rd and 5 from their own 44-yard line, Manning faced a near sack, but he scrambled out of the way of 2 Patriots defenders and threw a deep ball downfield. David Tyree trapped the ball against his helmet as he brought it down. This set up the game-winning score just a few plays later. The final 17-14, an amazing score that I had predicted right here on BronxNet. That's my list. What is yours? And speaking of amazing predictions, we hit the C-list for my thoughts on Super Bowl 53. For this commentary, I have decided to begin with the 2 most important players in the game on each side of the ball. We'll start with the LA Rams. That honor goes to defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Donald is football's greatest game wrecker. Most coaches believe that to beat Tom Brady, you must move him off the spot. Donald might be the only NFL defender who can do that even against New England's quick strike passing game. If the Rams can somehow pull this off, don't be surprised if Donald is your most valuable player. On the flip side, Tom Brady. We hear about Brady's leadership, which is undoubtedly at the forefront of his late career dominance. But what's so often overlooked is Brady's throwing. Thanks to highly refined mechanics, he still delivers a quality ball, especially between the field numbers. And his precision accuracy is off the charts. Brady in this 2014-18 Patriots dynasty is not just better mentally than he was in the 01-04 dynasty, he's also better physically. The Patriots dynasty started with Bill Belichick stymieing a juggernaut Rams offense, the 2001 The Greatest Show on Turf. 18 years later, Belichick faces another prolific Rams offense led by young architect Sean McVay, just 33 years old last week. The second-year head coach's system is defined by condensed formations. The Rams don't have wide receivers so much as they have tight receivers with Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, and Josh Reynolds almost always aligning just a few yards outside the offensive tackles. Should be a goodie. The Pats advanced to their 11th Super Bowl in franchise history, the 9th of the Belichick era, and 3rd consecutive since the 2016 season. New England joins Buffalo and Miami as the only teams to reach 3 straight Super Bowls. New England also has a chance to tie the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 6th Super Bowl, most in NFL history. In addition, a win in Super Bowl 53 will break a tie with Pittsburgh and give the Patriots the most postseason victories of all time with 37. The Patriots will face the Rams in a rematch of that aforementioned classic 17 years to the day after New England defeated the then St. Louis Rams with a field goal as time expired, giving the Patriots their first Super Bowl victory in franchise history. My prediction, well, since the Super Bowl loves to repeat itself, why not repeat the score too? I'll take the Pats 20-17. And I think Brady does the unthinkable. He wins the MVP again and retires, leaving the game as he entered it, a champion. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.